Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you tonight? Absolutely fabulous, I hope. I know I am because you all know why, because I'm here with you. And can't forget my prospecting buddies, Toledo, Jess, and Dano. We have a really good guest tonight. Allan's Gold Mining, a really great do-it-yourselfer. I'm sure you know of him. If not, what the heck? Come on. Don't go away, because I'll be right back with my crew and our guest. Hey, YouTubers and friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live with Toledo Jess, Dano, the Treasure Vixens, and I.
They can't hear us right now, but if we start talking, they don't bring us out live without saying anything.
Jesse, we're live.
Oh, that's what he does. That's what he does.
I'm surprised through that whole part you were silent, and then right when that intro ended and I come in, you start talking. They can't hear us right now, but yes, they can.
We know what he's doing. He's playing a game.
Oh, brother. Hey, everybody. How
What's
are
up?
you tonight?
Hey. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's say hi to everybody.
The world's greatest moderator, Mr. Lodak.
Mr. Lodak.
Thank you for being here all the time, my man.
And Thomas was here early. Did you see that?
He's here. Thomas Folks. He's here on time. He must be here to see. You know he's not here to see.
He must be here to see
What's up, Ron? Yeah, absolutely. David Villa. What's up? Hey, Vicky's in the house.
Vicky, say hi to Ryan. Terry Curry, good to see you.
Terry.
JP Lonzenmore. Can't forget
Steve
that.
Howard.
David.
So, we got what, 20 right now? Who else is in here?
Nebo Gold, Kings and Queens Stacking.
Hey,
Ron F. Who?
AP Londomore.
Says, hey, look, squirrel. Welcome, hey, look, squirrel.
How you doing, Tony? I hope all's well. I'm good. Jeremy, how are you, Mr. Cantor?
Steve Howden, welcome.
Tim Borton, good to see you. Willie was first, but unfortunately we don't have your gal, neither one of the gals with us tonight.
Frederick Vermont, welcome.
One of Rose's feline kids bit the big one. Hope it wasn't a tire or nothing like that.
Sudden. Hello, Jeremy.
He won't be here.
What's up, Willie?
Richard Quick, hello. Pirate Prospecting, arr.
Oh, Spyder Adventures says hello, Ed Gang and Allan. How the hell are you?
Doing great.
Don't everybody respond at once now.
Well, I didn't know if I'm I don't know if I'm on live yet or not. So.
Oh, you're live.
Am I live? Okay. I'm just sitting here like a stooge. So.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well.
You do it well. You never know when we'll bring you in. Like they never know when they're unmuted.
Right.
You know, that's why I said you see, your friends in here, say hi to them, shout them out. What's up, Tim Burton?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in the chat box except for just recently, so I'm not sure if the chat box has died on me or something, or
you have it on live or top?
It says chat.
Shannon Bortner.
You say top chat or live chat?
It just says chat.
Oh.
So let's.
You're on Zoom chat. You're not on YouTube chat.
Oh, okay. So I need to be on
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, that's what I was talking about. YouTube chat. That's where you see all your friends.
Just
Oh,
remember to mute YouTube.
okay.
Yes.
So let me dig up YouTube then.
I'm trying to find the emails you sent me. I can't. They're not getting to me yet. Damn Ethernet.
Well, Jesse's showing the mug it. Center him up.
Get-
Center him up.
Getting close, folks.
Oh,
Getting
I'll
close.
pin you for this.
Center him up, Ed. Center him up.
I did. He's
There we go. Look at them
Almost
mugs,
time,
folks. Look at
folks.
that.
About that time.
Look at that. Mugs.
Look
Mugs.
Look at that mug, man. Isn't that cool? That was fun. That was fun. For all you metal detectors, check this one out. Look at this baby.
Born to metal detect, forced to work.
First work.
They should have something like that for gold prospecting too. For
Oh,
a
that's-
lot of us.
Yeah, no kidding. I suppose we could. This is what I put together. I said, let me see how I do here. Check
Welcome,
this.
Spyder, for good. Welcome.
Okay, I think we're getting here.
I like those.
There
mugs.
we are. All right, now we're rolling. All right, just got to do a little split screen action here, and
Ron
we'll.
F wants one, Jesse. Ron F wants a mug.
Yeah.
You
What was that?
know,
Ron
Allan,
F wants a mug.
that's why I love multiple monitors.
Yeah. Versus just one.
Welcome, old dog.
Old
Okay.
dog, howdy, bro.
Small Town Adventures wants Allen's hat.
Dog, small. Yeah, he wants
It's
his
one
hat.
of a kind.
That's Allan's trademark right there.
That's right.
That
That's not
hat
a
and
hat.
that red
That's not a
scarf.
hat. That's his hair.
Now, if you guys don't know Allan, and you're do-it-yourselfer type people and interested in prospecting and on a budget, check out Allan's stuff. You know,
Oh yeah.
from one
you're in Arizona, right,
do-it-yourselfer
Allan?
to another do-it-yourselfer, he's top notch.
You're in
Well,
Arizona,
thanks so
right?
much.
Aren't you in Arizona?
Well, the claims are in Arizona.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to try to, I don't know why, but my stuff that I sent you, Ed, is not going for some crazy reason here. So we're going to try to resend it here, see if it'll go.
All right.
Got the
Yardman
G.
Ron, welcome.
I've been trying to send an email. Last time I tried to send, I forgot the Gmail, and it wouldn't go. I couldn't figure out why.
Yeah, I got gmail.com, flash in your pan. Just make sure I got it correct. Flash in your pan, gmail.com. Yep, it is. Okay. Just being stubborn, I guess. But that's okay. If it doesn't make it over, we'll just wing it.
Well, what's what we always do? Didn't I tell you that?
Shoot
Show
from the hip,
no
like in the
Yeah,
Wild
let's show
Wild
it
West.
structure.
Shoot
We're gonna
from
be
the
sitting
hip
around
like
like-
our friend Jeff Williams.
Right. We sit around the campfire and
BS.
shoot the bull. Right.
There you go.
You know, that's what we're doing tonight.
Should have
With-
seen the nugget that got away. It was this big. Oh, that's a fish.
Yeah. Wrong fish stories. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Allan? For those who don't know who you are.
Okay, well,
I know you from YouTube.
There's
I
a
said earlier.
question in the room real quick for you about the cup. Vicky, and it's not 1804, it's 1849. So
yes, it's 1849.
1849.
There you go.
1849, Vicky. 1849. You should know what that means. Come on, sister.
Oh. Well, anyway,
Hey, Jack, Lisa, Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. Looks like people are logging in and chatting. That's awesome.
Our friend
Right.
Gold Fever Adventures, Jack and Lisa's in here. And you were on their show a few months ago, if I remember right. Weren't you?
From Gold Fever.
Gold Fever Radio?
Yes. Yeah. So that went really well. I really enjoyed it. A lot of chatter back and forth. Yeah, it was fun with
Cool.
Jack Tucker. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're freaking visiting our chat room.
Yeah, they're friends of the Flash in your pin. Well, they are part of the Flash fam.
Right, I was gonna say.
Good people. One day I'm gonna go to Arizona and prospect with that man. And
Yeah, well,
actually, when he owned Gold Grabber, he's a sponsor of, well, would it be Prospector Radio or Gold Fever Radio? Sorry, Jack. Gold Fever Radio or
I think it's
the
Gold
late-
Fever Radio. Yeah.
It's Gold Fever Radio, but would it have been a donation from Gold Grabber or Gold Fever Radio? But he donated one of the Gold Grabber Hive anchors to our pet project, Take of That Prospecting Project. So,
Where we take
hey,
out,
Jason the Mason's in the house.
Where we take out veterans, disabled veterans who are new to prospecting or who want to get into prospecting or who just want to get out of the house, help them do that. So yeah, that's just something that we want to do to show our appreciation and cut that number of 22 a day down, you know. So get them outdoors and yeah. But anyways, back to you. Back to
Well,
you.
while you're chatting, I'm trying to send these emails over to Ed. So hopefully I'll just.
Not going on. Yeah, I was telling you earlier, I was having that mailing problem. I forgot how to send an email, you know, so.
Yeah, there must be something with the file size. We'll see if this one gets over there or not. So we'll see what happens.
Radio. What's
Yeah.
up, Bert?
You're late.
He's only a little late tonight. Yeah.
Just a little. Just a little.
What do we have?
Well,
Jason on here from Flower Gold Wizards. I see somebody saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, Jason," or Flower Gold.
Our buddy
Yeah.
Jason the Mason.
Yep.
Yeah.
GoPro
here.
Unlimited is out of here already.
J&M Buddy Magneteers. Hello, how are you tonight? Yeah, there he is. What's up, Jason?
Oh,
like he
hey,
was
Ellie
wrong.
Knows Rocks. How are you doing?
Yeah.
She met our friend Casey, Casey Morgan, not too long ago.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Casey was a fun guest, real
Yeah.
fun guest. And
Mhm.
Ellie's going to be on our show the 1st of June. I'm really looking forward to having her on. Good,
Nice.
good. I want to get more women that are treasure hunters on because I say more power to them.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Plus, they're a lot better to look at than stinky, hairy prospectors. You know, like who wants to look at these guys all day when you could look at something like, you know, don't take me the wrong way. So they all understand.
Well,
I'm
I don't know what's going on
I'm
with
just
this.
letting you dig your own hole, man. Just keep it up.
I'm stopping digging right now because I won't hit bedrock.
Now get your more
The
shovel
file
pulls.
size might be too big, Alan. Tell
I
you
think
what,
that's what it
buddy.
is.
We'll have you on in a few more months, maybe 6 months or a year or something. And we
You'll
could
probably get 'em open.
communicate more about that, you know, and you could send me the files and then
Sure.
I'll have them. And instead of me trying to hunt them down on your videos or whatever, and then we could share them, because I have a feeling the show's gonna roll real well, and we'll have you back.
Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it too. Love to do it. I think I might have the culprit here, so I'm going to just skip over a lot of this stuff, and I'll just send you some easier ones. And I think it's probably the original couple of photos that was messing with it. So we'll just send a couple of just quick static ones here and see how that feeds through the pipeline. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and we're being rated.
Yeah. All right. We'll try that one and see how it goes.
Having a Jersey history hunter raid. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, that one came
And
through.
it could just be my email platform going haywire, whatever.
That came through.
In Madison, Maine. Shannon Bot. Wait a minute. Bortner?
Partner.
Bortner? Bartner? Bortner.
Bortner.
Looks like that to me. What
Hi,
do I know?
Shannon.
Shannon, yes. So yeah, we still got people coming in here a little bit at that time.
Okay, we'll let everybody gather around the campfire.
Yeah, we have a raid happening from Jersey history hunters. There's
Yeah.
some metal detectors from New Jersey.
Our friends Audra and Rach, they
Yep.
have a show, a live stream right before ours, and we're having a friendly Jersey history hunter raid, which we love. So
We love it.
you betcha.
Absolutely.
They're absolutely fabulous sisters and part of the Flash fam.
Mhm.
Had the pleasure of hanging out on the river with them last year. Gold Rush days.
Yeah, Gold Rush days. Right? Is Gold Rush days?
Gold
Yeah.
Rush days. Yep.
Yep. Jason, AU Colorado. What's up?
No, Jason, my ears didn't get lowered. I just have it back in a ponytail. It's not quite ready to cut. I don't have enough to get for a wig or to put on my scalp post yet. So when it's long enough, I'll probably
Okay,
end up doing it live.
All right, Ed. Well, you know what? I just, it looks like it choked through. So maybe you'll get something on your end over there.
I got one for sure.
Good.
Two emails for sure.
Okay.
So
yeah, there must have been something corrupt with one of the files or something, whatever, whatever it was.
we could share.
One of them internet things.
We could share one right now. There'll be a little bit delay. I'm not sure what the delay is. Can't be more than 6 seconds. Let me find out. 1,
Make
2,
make sure I'm
3,
live
4,
here.
5, 6, 7. About 7 seconds delay. So let me swing it over, and once you see it, I can tell you right now, it's a guy in a hard rock mine. That wouldn't be a one-legged jack, though. It looks like it has 2 legs.
It's a rail, but it's close enough. Yep. I'm not seeing it actually on YouTube here for some reason.
You will in about 5 more seconds.
Oh, okay.
There's
All right.
a 7-8 second delay.
Okay, just your screen looks frozen, and even your screen on screen looks frozen too. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Is it playing right now for you, or is it
No, no, it's just frozen stuck. Yeah, let me
see if you're live.
Oh, there we go. Now we're working.
Okay, now I've got a live button and it's not got a red dot beside it. Click on it, it'll speed you up to the show.
Yeah. Okay, now there we are. Okay, now we're okay. There's the photo. Okay, now we're working.
And when you want me to switch it, I'll just click the little arrow next to it and go to the next one, Alan.
I seen some stuff like that in Virginia City when I toured that mine.
I hear an echo though on your side.
I hear YouTube
You
playing.
need to mute YouTube, Alan.
Click on it, it'll speed you up to the show.
Yeah, I'm there now. I see the and I think we're
You need to
yeah,
mute
we're
the
yeah, we're
show.
playing live now.
You
Mute your
need to
sound on
mute the
YouTube.
show though.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
No, I
I'm
still
still
hear.
hearing an echo.
There you go.
yeah. Now she's working. Oh, don't you just love this technology? Okay.
We have an echo though, Alan. You need to mute YouTube.
All right. So anyway, this is one of my early photos.
No, we're still hearing an echo.
I hear
Alan.
YouTube. You got YouTube playing. You got to turn it off.
You gotta turn the YouTube. hit
Gotta
the
just mute
All right.
YouTube.
picture, and then mute YouTube. Not
Yeah.
Zoom.
I think you just did it. All
Yeah,
right.
how's that? Is that better, guys?
Yeah,
There.
yeah.
Hi,
Okay,
Joe. I
perfect.
think he's got it.
Okay, great. All right, now we can roll.
Now we can roll.
Okay. Well, anyway, thanks everybody for having me on your show tonight, and really appreciate it. And so, yeah, my name's Allan Guthmiller with Allan's Gold Mining is my YouTube channel. And so anyway, I just give you a little brief history about how I came into gold mining. Actually, I started when I was a little kid. My parents went camping in the mountains in California, and I was infatuated with gold prospecting. I thought it was cool, but my parents weren't. And we were at a stream fishing, and I kept pestering my mother. I want to go pan for gold. So my mom grabbed me by the shoulders and grabbed her dishpan, dragged me down to the stream, and scooped up a whole bunch of dirt and slung it all around and everything, and said, "See, there's no gold in here now. Shut up and get out of here."
So did she know how to pan, or she just showing you that there was no gold?
They were just both, probably just to try to deter me. But what really was that clicked, and it was like, I'm hooked. And it wasn't until many years later, as a teenager, that I actually found my first piece of gold up in a place called Blue Cut, which is in Cajon Pass in the LA Empire Basin, whatever.
Yeah,
And
91.
after I got that first piece, it's been ever since.
Right
Right,
above
so
right
what was
wood.
it? What was it that piqued your interest when you were a little kid there with your mom? What was it? The history of it, or just the treasure hunting aspect of it? You know what it was?
Well,
just-
yeah, because when I was a kid, we were studying about American history and discovering, the American River and Sutter's Mill
Right.
and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so as a kid, and this is like probably, I don't know, 5th grade or something like that. And we were studying this stuff, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I like this history. They don't teach that today.
No, right.
Heck no. But
teaching today, but
yeah,
we
exactly.
digress.
But after that, I was hooked. And then from there, it's just been developing. So the picture that you see there is actually yours truly back in the early 80s. I moved to Nevada to go to school to get, to UNLV, to college degree. And I hooked up with a couple of guys that were actually mining for gold. And so we actually had this hard rock mine just outside of Searchlight, about 10 miles to the west. And so there's me, running the drill rig. We were punching 4-foot holes in the rock. And so we had this tunnel going. We actually tunneled all the way through the little hillside that we were running through. And we were getting about maybe 1/4 of an ounce of gold to the ton. So we were doing pretty good. We actually made the tunnel big enough we could drive a small tractor in there to muck out the material. And then we had our own crushing plant and sluice and shaker tables and stuff like that to get the ore out or get the gold out. And we didn't make any money to get rich off of, but it paid for all of our equipment, our explosives, and everything else.
It pays for everything to do that.
Yeah. So that was kind of one of my, besides placer mining. Now this is, for those of you who don't know, load mining is where you're digging a tunnel like here. Placer mining is where you're digging in gravels in a stream bed and stuff. And so the load mining here is what we call primary enrichment, and then placer deposit is secondary enrichment. So there's the two different dynamics and requires different equipment. So yeah, and if you want to click through the pictures there, I think there's probably another one of me probably lighting the fuse or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
Literally lighting a fuse. Oh yeah, literally lighting a fuse.
Yeah, there we go. So there's yours truly. You see me. There's all those little white round circles are all blast holes, and the ground was really soft. It was a soft, decayed kind of quartzy material that required a lot of explosives. So we had 4-foot holes, third stick dynamite in the back with det cord attached to it, and then we backfilled it with Prel, which is your 90+% ammonium nitrate with diesel fuel. And so we backfilled all the holes, and then we attached it all to a cap. So we would shoot out the waste first, and we'd shoot out probably about 4 tons. And then we drive the tractor and muck it out. And then the vein was up on top, up high. And then we had charges in there, and then we would shoot out and drop the vein, and then go ahead and send that to the plant for processing.
So the process was to get the material out from underneath the vein and then drop the vein down in your tunnel.
Right, exactly. And then run the tractor back in there and muck it out. Yeah.
Cool.
And there was times where you could physically see the gold on the vein. It was the coolest. I mean, we had one that was probably at least several inches long, but it was thin as tinfoil. So that was a lot there. And it just so happened the rock fractured right along that shear zone that separated the gold, so you can see it. Yeah.
That'd be
and
really cool.
It was fun. I go to the next picture. I think that one's probably got one of the charges going off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Fire in the hole.
There we go. Fire in the hole. So that's just one of our shots there. And yep. So that's pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. And when you have that much explosives going off, I don't care how used you are to it, it still makes your heart skip.
Oh,
yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was we did this for a number of years. And then of course the ore played out, and I did some drilling. I bought a drilling rig. We punched holes all over the place trying to see if we could locate the vein. Never could. So it looked like that was pretty much done.
Cool.
So
cool.
But anyhow, I've always been involved with placer mining, and I always loved dry washing or working in a sluice, in a stream. So I've had many years of experience from back in the 80s all the way to now. And, gold prospecting really isn't my main hobby. It's actually my third hobby. Aviation's my first hobby, and astronomy is second. Gold mining is third.
Are you a pilot?
Yes, I am.
Oh, please, if I'm ever in California, Arizona, or Nevada, please take me flying.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm not current, so I would have to go up and redo all my currency things to, when you get a pilot's license, you never lose your license like a driver's license, but you still have to go out with an instructor, get current, do all the stuff, insurance, blah, blah, blah. And I used to also fly gliders too, do a lot of soaring and stuff out here in the desert.
Same with mechanics.
Flying. Love it. I don't care how big the plane is. I love it.
It's awesome. Absolutely.
Same with your mechanics. They get a license, it's theirs, but they have to recertify, keep it up to date.
Yeah. Yeah, so I used to rent. It was easier to be in a club and rent than it was to own your own plane. And so that's primarily what I did. Yeah. But I've built airplanes, both models and real. And also I've I built and designed telescopes and optical systems. So when it came to building mining equipment, I had some engineering qualities that I could transfer over to making some of the stuff. So I don't know, Ed, if you want to show that one picture of me standing with my,
Sure.
blue bucket trommel system there.
I have it
And,
queued up now.
Yeah, and that one there will kind of start it off. Out here in the desert, it's really hard to try to mine for gold, especially you end up with areas that are full of clay, and it's really hard to run a dry washer. And the physics behind a dry washer only allows you to get about 60 or 70% of the gold, even on a really super dry day where you have your moisture content's less than 5%. So, and the physics, and I won't get into the physics why, but I have a video on my YouTube channel, how to improve your dry washer recovery, that I get into the physics of why and how dry washers work. But so I wanted to recover more of my gold. So the best way to do that is with water. Okay. And running a sluice, because with a sluice, you're working with gravity to track gold. With a dry washer, you're kind of working against gravity. And that's one of the physical problems, because you're lifting the material above and over the riffles while you're carrying all the little small pieces of gold too, as well. And if you ever notice that when you do run a dry washer, you get nice little pickers and pieces and all that, but you really are vacant on the fine stuff. So when you run a sluice, you're collecting all of it, at least 98%, 95% of it. So, but the problem with a sluice of any kind is that it requires water. Well, there's no water in the desert, so you got to haul your water in. Yeah, and so that started the ball game rolling, where I wanted to design a system that a weekend prospector could take out with minimal amount of water and run lots of yardage and get gold. I mean, at 95, 98% recovery rate. Right. And so that's what kind of got it started. And so I made this trommel out of plastic buckets and stuff, and screen, and a lot of supplies you can find at a standard hardware store. And so anyhow, and it runs off of a 12-volt windshield wiper motor that turns the whole thing. And it's pretty neat. And so I made a video of this and I stuck it onto YouTube. And this is like 5 years ago. And yeah. And I went, I thought, okay, maybe a couple people will watch it. Maybe I'll get 100 people, whatever. And when I crossed the 100-person line, I thought, well, this is cool. And then when I got to 1,000 people, I was like, oh my gosh. And then when I got up to 10,000 people, I was freaked out. And now this video has got almost 600,000 views.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. And so it launched my YouTube career from there, So I started building and adding and doing modifications to this. But if you want to go to the next picture, you can. There it shows more of the full layout of the trommel system.
Wow.
Right. Because one of the things that I hear, one of the things that I hear from people out there in Arizona is their inability to get out and do dry washing unless the ground is thoroughly dried. I mean, otherwise they got to do a bunch of other work to get it to dry out before they can attempt to run a dry washer.
Yep.
And then I go, well, why don't you just take water up there? Well, because the water don't last. It just gets too muddy. You can't use it.
Yep.
I try to evaporates and what gets lost in your tailings and
right. I try to direct them to your videos.
Yeah.
But you know how some old miners are. They don't want to listen to nobody that's new. They don't want to.
Well, I'm not new, but
not necessarily new. Innovative. Let's say.
Yeah.
I always put it to Ugg when he invented the round disc, and then decided to put a piece of wood through it and ride it. He made something different out of something that was already made.
Yeah, exactly.
That. That's how innovation happens.
That's
keep
right.
adding and modifying. You can't just invent the wheel and not go anywhere from there. So we're always in that process. And I saw this, I'm going, there's the answer right there. I don't know why. Do you think that something like this could be expanded into a more commercial viable operation?
I think,
You
oh
feel
yeah,
that?
definitely. Although my main focus right now is hobby prospecting and prospectors, you know.
So go ahead and explain what you got there because I already know what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, we kind of skipped over the trauma, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
I'll go back to the trauma.
Yeah,
Go back to
just
the
go back
trauma
to
because
this
it
real
all works
quick.
together.
Yeah, then we'll get to this one.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyhow, I wanted to have a system where I could actually recover the water as best as I could. And so instead of having to haul out thousands of gallons of water to process, say, a cubic yard of material, I wanted to do it with about 100 gallons. And I was able to accomplish that. Now, the trommel in the very back of the picture, that's the main trommel that washes the rocks. And of course, all the tailings go off to the left, and all the stuff that's smaller than, or a quarter inch or smaller, because that's the screen size, drops onto the sluice, which is just underneath it. Then everything flows down the sluice, and of course the gold gets trapped in the riffles. And then it flows to this other trommel that's in the foreground, and that's a dewatering trommel. And it has a 60 mesh screen. So as it's tumbling around, it's tumbling all the slurry that's coming off the sluice and separating the water from the solids. And of course, the solids come out the end into the tailings. And of course, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, the water then drops in the tub that's down below. And so I have basically 3 settling tubs. I have the one underneath the trommel and then 2 over off to the right that you can see. And and I had filters in there to help mitigate some of the suspended particles, because at 60 mesh, you're removing a lot of material, but not a lot. If you ran a full cubic yard of material, you would end up with that first tub filling completely up with silt and clay, you know, at the yard. And the second tub would fill up about a quarter of the amount. And so, and the water became really gooey. So after a yard, you had to purge it. So every yard cost you about 100 to 125 gallons to run. Well, I wanted to improve that even more, which brought me over time to the system that I currently have. So if you want to move on to that one, Ed, that's good. I developed through experimentation a better way to separate the solids, and that's by using a flat shaker deck. And the nice thing about the shaker decks is that here you have this picture here where the upper shaker deck processes the material, vibrates, and you have your sprayer bar up on top. And of course, you see the tailings going off to the left, and then everything that's smaller than quarter inch falls onto the sluice, which is just directly underneath it. Okay. And what I like about this system versus the trommel is that it's half the size. So therefore, you can stack it. If I were to stack trommels on top of each other with a sluice in the middle, it would take up twice as much. So in other words, ergonomically, it would be very difficult to shovel material and feed the hopper. So you'd almost have to stand up on a ramp or have a conveyor belt or something like that, feed the upper trommel, so to speak. Where here, everything's extremely compact and it's just as efficient. And the other thing I like about this is that it's lower maintenance. There's less moving parts, and so it's more practical. So the end result is to get this all trailer mounted. Well, in this process, I developed down below at the very bottom here is this shaker deck, and it's flat. And so what happens is the slurry comes off the sluice, lands on the deck, and instead of having a 60 mesh screen, it has a 200 mesh screen. And these 2 orange vibrators that you see there is what shakes that deck to cause the water to separate from the solids. And of course, all the, yeah, thank you, there you go. And so everything migrates from left to right off into the tailings. And of course, the water drops under the bucket into the tub. And then from there, it runs through a series of sand filters. And so the sand collects all the suspended particles that did not go off into the tailings, but fell into the tub. So it strips all these suspended particles out of the water down to, well, let's see, the 200 mesh screen separates down to 75 microns, okay? And then the sand filters have quarter inch, 1/8 inch, and 1/16 inch sand. And that separates it all the way down to about 20 microns. And at 20 microns, that water is almost drinkable, you know? So now you can recycle the same water over and over and over. In fact, the water recycles in this system every minute and a half. So the sand filters will process easily over 2 yards of material, and using only about 100 gallons. So now I've doubled my output and cut my water usage almost in half.
How often
Okay.
do you have to clean your sand filters?
Okay. So usually after about a couple of yards, which most people have a hard time running a couple of yards in a day, I would clean it out. So if you go to my video, my latest video that I've got published, I show how I clean the sand. And what I do is the sands are in bucket containers. And so what I do is I take the riffle out of the sluice, and then I turn the whole wash plant back on, and I refeed the sand into the upper hopper. It shakes and vibrates, and the sprayers spray on it and washes all the material, and then it flows down the sluice. Okay, but there's no riffles in it, so they're just sheet metal. So it flows down, drops onto the dewatering deck. Well, the dewatering deck just sucks all the water out of it, and so what rolls off the end is nice clean rock or nice clean sand, ready for the next time you use it.
Cool.
So
Okay. And so your sluice box is in the middle there, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where your ripples and everything are. So your top box, that the picture I'm looking at looks like cardboard.
It's actually cold steel, 18 gauge cold
okay,
steel.
Okay. All right. So and you're just shoveling in there. It's just shaking and washing material and dropping that down into the sluice box, right?
Yeah. Now Ed just highlighted the sluice there.
Right. You're catching the gold in the sluice box, and the piece underneath the shaker table, is that what that is?
Shaker deck, dewatering shaker deck.
Yeah, that's the bottom piece, right? With the green. That is basically you're separating the water from the sand, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's exactly what goes on.
You're dropping your material into the top layers, dropping down into the sluice box, which is catching the gold. And the bottom deck is separating your sand, which is giving you your clean water to use over again. Got it.
Yes, exactly. And so when you watch the video play, if you go on and watch, by the way, I was filming another video this weekend, so I'll be publishing that pretty soon. There'll be more detail. But if you go to my previous video showing 2001 innovations 2001, I show it more detail. You can see the action and how everything flows across that lower deck, and you'll just see the clumps of gooey mud and clay mixed with rock flowing out onto the tailings, which was normally
for a second, Alan. Mr. Lodak, if you could please hunt down Alan's video of that and put it in the room for me, I'd appreciate that. And then I'll pin it, and after the show, you all could go over and visit Alan's video and watch it.
Right, exactly.
After.
Well, let me see if I can. Let me just dig up. I'll just open up another screen here real quick, and just let me go to my channel. I'll pull it up real quick here, and it'll just take a second.
So, do you find that better to use that system than your trommel and that whole other system? Does it work better? Is it more of a convenience thing?
Both. It's very much a convenience. That's a good question. It's very much a convenience, but it's also more accurate. It because of the frequency of the vibration, it actually causes as the rocks are flowing over the top deck. I have like little studs that the rocks bounce on, and that high speed vibration, and the vibrator's running at 3,600 RPM, so it's really flying. Those rocks just dance. And so any material that's stuck on the rock just falls right off. Any dirt clods just bust up into a zillion pieces, freeing up all the gold. So then the fine stuff, the gold that's obviously smaller than 1/4 inch, drops through the deck onto the sluice.
All right,
Gotcha.
link that's posted at the top of the chat is the link to the video, I believe.
Okay, so there, I'm gonna just put this in the
no,
chat.
It ain't it, Mr. Lodak.
Here, let's, okay, there's my YouTube link right there. I just put it in there, Allan's Gold Mining, and that's the link to that video. So if people want to copy and paste and save it for later on their computer, it's in the chat window there under Allan's Gold Mining. You guys see that?
Hasn't come up yet. It's probably because you're not a moderator.
Well, no, I'm in the top chat here with everybody else. There's Scuba, Sonia, Willie,
right,
Shane.
right. You're not a moderator though, so it might not allow you to. It might just automatically not show it. Do me a favor and just type hi or something in the video so I could moderate you.
And
Okay.
while you're doing that, I'm going to say hello, Scuba Sonia.
I clicked on Mr. Lodax and
Okay,
it took
there's
me
hi
to the
Ed.
studio.
Now, yeah, I do notice that my name is muted. Allan's Gold Mining
There
is,
it is.
yeah.
I'll make you a moderator. You'll turn blue, and you should be able to post links now.
All right.
Hi, Sonia. It's always good to see you.
Welcome, Allan's Gold Mine.
Well, thank you. Good to see you. All right, now there we go. Now it's up. There it is.
See, now you can come in here and be a moderator.
Don't you just love this technology?
You got a reason to come in.
Oh gosh.
We like
So,
it too, Dennis.
Yeah, there's a link to that particular video that we're talking about. So you folks can, watch it later on and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't know if you've noticed over the years, there's been a couple, 2-3 times that I've commented on your video about having you on our show.
Yes, I know. And life has just been, crazy busy for me in so many different ways,
I just never know whether you get the messages or whether you respond or not. So I don't push, but I do ask.
I get, well, you should see on my end of it, I'm sure you guys do too. Just the pile of videos and comments and emails and when you're famous, what can you say?
And you are famous.
Since you brought that up, it's kind of a thing on this show about that. Since you started doing YouTube videos, since you've been getting here and you got all kinds, I mean, what's your subscription number now? It's pretty.
I'm up at about a little over 10,000, about 10,300.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that people recognize you and you don't know who they are? I mean, you'll be somewhere out of the blue, someone, oh, you're Allan. I watch your videos.
Absolutely, that happens all the time.
Cool. And you have to be ready for that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you're gonna do YouTube, expect that to happen.
Right. Yeah.
And if you don't want it to happen to you, don't show your face.
That's right. Well, let me tell you, it's as I get more popular. You go to the gold shows. Of course, there hadn't been any last year, but
right.
Yeah, people recognize you. And of course, I'm dressed in this get up anyway, so it's obvious. But you know what? Let me tell you something. A real quick story that was really profound. I work in a hospital. Okay, I work in a cardiac cath lab. I do X-rays of the heart, put in stents, put in heart valves. I do all that kind of. That's my main job. So I'm in the elevator. And this nurse gets on the elevator with me, and I'm dressed in my surgical attire, and I got my hat and mask on and all that stuff. So all you see is my eyeballs. All right. She looks at me and goes, "You do videos on YouTube, don't you?" And I went, "Yeah." And she goes, "My husband really loves your videos. You do gold mining, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Because that was going to be my next question.
Wild that somebody would recognize.
That was going to be my next question. Like, what's the most obscure place you've had somebody come up to you? And obviously, that's got to be
That's got to be, yeah, in the elevator at the hospital, come on.
Right. Yeah. I know. Yeah. So yeah, if you're going to be doing YouTube, you're going to show your face. Expect that to happen at some point.
Yeah.
It happens to everybody.
Well, and then some people call me Benny Hill, and somebody thinks I'm on Toy Story,
Yes,
Believe
absolutely.
it or not, Benny Hill was my nickname in college, so I do carry that trait. Yeah, lots of fun. So, but yeah, anyhow, my goal is to try to create a platform in which hobby prospectors can take out and efficiently go sluicing for the weekend and only need to maybe put 2 or 3 55-gallon drums in the back of their truck or
Right.
those ICB tanks or something like that, and have a wash plant that they can maximize the recovery. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against dry washing at all. I love dry washing, and it's a great instrument for prospecting. So as soon as you find a good spot, then it's time to move the wash plant in and really make a killing. And that's what I'm working on. So my end goal is to create a wash plant that's actually trailer mounted. So all those things you see there, the upper deck, the sluice, and the dewatering deck, will actually rest on a trailer. They'll be factory set at the right angles, even though they can be adjusted slightly, but they'll be factory set. So all you have to do is wheel the trailer out to the dig site and then just jack it up a little bit to get it level, and then throw the tubs underneath the trailer and basically fill it up with water, and you're ready to fire it up and let it go. And then if you want to move, you just simply take it off the jacks, wheel it over to the next dig site, set it all back up, and it takes like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and bang, you're ready to start mining again,
So that kind of begs the question. So you started off as a DIY guy, making stuff to make your life easier.
Yep.
Not thinking about industry, not thinking about product, not thinking about that, just making your life easier. But now it sounds like you're looking at a self-contained unit that you can sell and buy.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
So what you see here is basically a prototype, or not prototype, it's a test model for the trailer mounted prototype. So the trailer mounted prototype will be next. And I want to use this unit for a while. I want to beat it up and see what breaks, because that's key, and so that way I can figure out what needs to be beefed up and what areas, so I can get some kind of durability out of it. And that's before I can sell this thing.
Just so you're aware that this crew here, we are beta testers.
Okay, well then, all right. Yeah.
The address is.
We beta test for a few manufacturers.
Yes.
Not as many as we'd like to, Pat King.
Right. Yeah. So
we might beta testing a new 4-inch dredge.
I think Pat Keen is watching me. So, and same with the folks over at Royal too. So,
well, before you get to them, you need some qualified beta testers and make sure you show them a good product.
Well, you know what? That's interesting, because my friends who are working with me on this have the same philosophy. Is that I'm making it so I understand it, but I want the public on how to understand it. So beta testing with people who are they never touched this thing before, and they wheel it out and make it work. How does it flow?
Hey, and we typically prospect as a crew.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And we'll work with you. We'll definitely work with you, because that sounds, that's why I was asking a lot of questions. I want to know what you're looking at and what you're planning on doing, because it's I like trommels, but they just seem like a lot of work, especially when you're talking to someone like me, who is only looking at like going to a small creek, carrying stuff into a quarter mile up the creek or a half mile up the creek, but not wanting to drag a trommel up, or not you know,
Right.
just something that's going to be convenient for a 70-year-old man to be able to dredge around and set up and a bunch of his buddies hang out and run a piece of equipment.
Right, exactly. Well, that's my goal, is to build something that is lightweight on a trailer. You just simply unhitch it from the ball and you literally can wheel it to your dig site. Now, everybody's dig sites are different. You may need a winch to get it down a hillside or something like that. That's, that's up to them. But
personal preference.
yeah, but to provide a product that you can actually maneuver easily and then set it up and then keep your generator in the back of the truck bed and your tank in the back, and so you run your power and your water hose down to the unit, and boom,
Right. Well, see, that was a key right there. It has to be something that can easily be pulled up to the creek, or with a little effort can be lowered down into a valley or across the stream, or sure, good for everybody.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, we'll put it through its paces.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm like I say, I'm eventually going with this thing, and it is so unique. I appreciated everybody's comments on my last video because it really created kind of a storm. And I mean, there was a lot of questions. There's still questions coming out. And
the idea of it being stackable like that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just like Mike Pung's gold cube. It's all stackable. And so I give him credit for designing something like that. And so I'm kind of following that lead. Yeah. So
but your system is more geared towards recirculated, right?
Exactly.
That's what your ideal situation is.
Yeah, being able to retain that water as long as much as he can for the environment he works in. Unlike where we are, we have plentiful water.
Right. We have plenty of water.
That's true.
Yeah.
And of course, in the desert, where it's easy to find gold for the most part, it's hard to bring in the water. You're real lucky if you have a brook or a stream nearby, but usually when they're running, the ground's too wet to dry wash, but at least you can wet wash. Well, and that brings up another subject too, is that with dry washing, it's very seasonal. In other words, you got to wait till summertime. Well, it's hotter than Hades out there. And, so either you're mining at night or you're really sweating a lot. And with a wash plant, you can mine all year long, as long as your water doesn't freeze, you can go for it.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, you don't have, you dry washing. Okay, storm comes in, dumps a lot of water, and then you go, okay, I'll give it 2 weeks to dry out, and then I'll go out there. Well, within 2 weeks, another storm rolls in and dumps more water. It's like you can't win.
Yeah, you're under the thumb of the weather. As opposed to your system there. Yay, it rains. I got more water.
It's actually better.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping that this will encourage a lot of folks, and I'm trying to develop a product that's to be simple, that the weekend prospector can really take advantage of, maximizing their gold recovery. The other thing that I found interesting with this is that I love running dry washer tailings, because this plant's so efficient, it sucks up all the gold that everybody else's dry washers left behind. And it's so funny to go in behind somebody's machinery and scoop up their header pile and their tailings pile and run it through and go, look at that. Wow.
No, this nugget.
Yeah, whose nuggets is? Somebody lose a nugget?
Here, let me share some of your gold from
sure,
the
absolutely,
equipment you use. This is some nice chunky desert gold here too.
Yeah.
Some gold porn for all of you out there. Children, cover your eyes.
Yeah, let's see if we can bring that. There we go. How about that, folks? Pretty good, huh? Yeah. Now
That's really coarse.
very where I'm at, the gold is extremely coarse. I'm extremely close to the source. Actually, yeah, the geology in my area is mostly hydrothermal type deposits. And so there's springs that have come up over, hundreds of thousands, millions of years,
Right.
and deposit. And there's a lot of calcium salts, a lot of caliche, and most of the iron is pretty well oxidized. And in fact, some of the nuggets the larger nuggets you get, you end up with nuggets with square holes or impressions in them. And that's because the pyrite, the pyrite is oxidized, and what's left is the impression. And the piece of gold hasn't rolled anywhere. So it just sits there coarse, and everything else is falling off of it,
Sure,
So
pretty
those-
stuff.
Those three pieces up there have not traveled at all, have they?
not a bit. Not probably, if anything, maybe say 100 feet, couple 100 feet. I don't know.
Look at those beauties.
They've traveled a little bit. They're not, feathery, but
that one's
man,
No.
pretty too.
Yeah.
Some of the
Now
quartz
that-
in it still.
Now,
Yeah.
now this photo is a little deceiving, obviously, because it's a zoomed in picture, but the
sure.
largest chunk of gold there is 3/8 in diameter. Okay. So it's not like it's super huge, but that's the stuff we get.
Hey, I'll take it all day long. I'll take all of it all day long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you betcha.
No doubt
I
about it.
can't show me a prospector that will throw back any gold they find.
That's right. We'll take it all.
I'll say 2 toes.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, on the other hand, he throws them back and comes back
Or at
and
least
gets their older
he
brother,
says he does.
bigger
At
brother.
least he says he does. I've never actually seen him throw any back.
Yeah.
But we've only been on the river with them once.
That was enough. And I don't think I've seen videos either. I don't think I've seen it in videos either. I've seen him say it.
Right.
Well, isn't it true that you take your gold and you go out and plant it and grows more gold? That's what I heard.
Well, that's what those Yuba guys say. They throw back the small stuff and let it grow.
Let it grow. Yeah.
I thought gold worked differently than that, but who am I to say?
Are there? Where else have you prospected besides in Arizona? Have you been like other Alaska or any other places? Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's the little inside whisper story. In fact, I don't know who else is on this thread right now that's maybe been
Nobody.
solicited. But I got contacted by a Hollywood producer about 3 weeks ago, and had a cast. They want me to be part of a gold show, reality TV show of going up to Greenland this summer and mine on a new gold deposit. And so I had my casting interview a couple of weeks ago and just waiting for word if it's a go or not,
Yeah, good luck on that. Good luck on that.
Yeah. So it's going to be called Frozen Gold. And obviously they're going to compete with all the other gold shows out there. And so they're basically soliciting a lot of the other YouTube, gold miners and other sources.
You're making the circus. I think Jason was approached too, wasn't he? Did I remember
A
hearing
Flower
something
Gold
about-
Wizards.
Flower
Yeah, I
Gold
wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. And Jeff Williams, and I think because they didn't tell me who, but they said there's a couple of Canadian guys. Well, that comes up with what's his name, Pauly and Dan Hurd. Those are the first two big
Right.
names that come to my
Right.
mind. So I'm sure they probably got tapped as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this, and I know they're working all of the logistics and everything, so it'll be fun.
Ray Russa sounds like they contacted him. A lot of those emails I don't reply to because I'm unable to do anything like that at this time.
You gotta
Well-
be like some of them will ask for certain type of prospecting. Are you traveling around the country? Are you, is that your life that you go from here to there? That's what they're looking
Right.
for. And then other ones are looking for, come like what your opportunity there, which is really cool. Yeah, so it's more than one out there doing this because I guess gold is a big thing, huh?
Yeah, they're trying to capitalize on the interest in the market.
Right. Well, I mean, in all reality, that's what got me into it. I retired watching TV at night, come across Gold Fever
Yep.
on the Outdoor Channel and saw it a couple times, and
Mhm.
you know, then I saw him. He was in Ohio finding gold in Ohio. I'm going, wait, I'm in Ohio.
Isn't that
I'm
amazing?
I'm only a couple hours away from where he was at. I'm gonna check this out, and I checked it out, and here I am.
Yep.
Let me say here. Let me say hello to one of our Australian friends, Nikki. How are you tonight? She's from.
I'm impressed with you know, what kind of gold you find back there. You know, and I mean, Ohio and Wisconsin. You know, Jason Flower Gold Wizards. He's out there pounding away at it. A couple other guys are fine. And what is it? Appalachia Prospectors. There's another couple of guys that are out there. You know, just amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's. I mean, when in my mind, the way I see them, I watched Gold Rush. Well, the first few years they came out, and I'm watching them doing test pans, and I'm watching them digging, and I'm watching them find gold, and I'm going, I do a test pan, and my gold is small like that, and is about 20, 30 pieces in a test pan.
Yep.
I bet I can find as much gold as they do. The only problem is I can't move the material they can move.
Right.
I don't, I wouldn't be able to do that. I couldn't do that on our GPA lease, so, and that's our drawback, but it's there. People don't realize how much.
I see a lot of guys out there doing that where it's like, gosh, why can't you get a dozer in there and a backhoe and build a wash plant and really, because there's good material out there.
Yeah, you know how many times we sat around the creek fantasizing getting a backhoe in there and running a big, huge monster dredge.
What we need to do is find a good end moraine area and do some sampling, but we need to talk about maybe getting our own lease. Then it's talking to the property. Unlike you out west, or where I'm from out west also, there's no such thing as mining claims out here. Even though everyone out here east of the Mississippi, I know you love saying claims, but it's a fantasy. There's no such thing.
Right.
It's a lease or a permission.
Yes.
So, what we're limited to a lot of times our leases are floodplains, and they're leased from farmers, and no, they don't want beyond the green belt disturbed at all.
They won't let us build
you can't get in my field and stay off my corn and beans.
Right.
You're not going to run that little bucket line dredge down the creek.
Well, and I think if Jason from Flower Gold Wizards is still watching, I marvel at what he's doing. Midwest Dave is another guy, but I see them in the woods, and so there's no farmer out there, but you'd have to knock some trees down, clear the area. But gosh, you just, the meandering stream that he's working in is just the here and now of what's probably stacked up that is covered over by overburden that's just waiting, Yeah. And maybe down, 3, 4, 5 feet, and all of a sudden, bam, before you get that nasty clay layer he shows, there could be just all kinds of material left over from hundreds of thousands of years ago.
We do have some friends here, though, actually, that have hooked up with aggregate plants, and they've ended up putting sluices in the wash plant at like concrete places and stuff, or I don't
A
want to
gravel
say
pit.
quarries at gravel pits, and some have done really well.
Yep. Why
Look,
not? Yeah.
look at that Lee.
Well,
He was doing what, about an ounce a week?
yeah,
Just setting a sluice in between screenings.
you
Between
might
the
have
shaker
met
screen.
you
Yeah.
might have met Lee at gold shows out west. Him and his brother had the gold.
Little spin it off.
Yeah, the little spin it off. It was a centrifugal, a real portable centrifugal. Lee Hirschberger, great guy. He's from Indiana.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bill's Trash and Treasure.
he was doing sluices in between, and wherever he could fit one in, and he was pulling out of gravel pits.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? You imagine if you actually set up a rig like on Gold Rush, like Parker Schnabel, one of his rigs or something, or maybe even something smaller, like remember the what was it, Little Blue or something,
Right. Well, all you got to do, if you could just figure out a way to set up a sluice box in that circuit,
Hmm.
they're running, because they run water while
Yeah.
they're cleaning and sizing rocks. They're running water, so you can set up a sluice in there where, as long as it doesn't affect their process, why would they care?
Yeah,
Company
you
wants to
could
clean it out.
you set up a sluice so you have one for nuggets on the bigger rocks, you have a nugget traps, and then you got your finer type sluices for the finer gold on your 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch sand that you're trying to separate. And yeah, why
But
not?
those guys, their money is in the rocks. They don't care about the
Of
gold.
course. Of course.
Their
Yeah.
money's in
Right.
it. You show them a tiny little, you show them a tiny little picture, and they go, "That ain't nothing. Look at this rock I got to sell for $20 a piece."
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty amazing, just besides the West, what kind of gold can be found all over the country.
Right.
Yeah. So
It's-
one of my favorite things I want to do one of these days is go to Nome, Alaska. I just love all that. Bering Sea Gold is one of my favorite shows.
That's funny. You just mentioned Barry C. Gold, one of our buddies.
We
Brian
have to have a
Yeah,
star.
I know Brian. Yes, I do. Yeah, we chat back and forth. Yep.
Yeah, he's in now.
Good old Brian Wilder.
Yeah, we prospected with Brian.
Oh, now
Yeah.
he's talking like the Utah guys. Oh, no golden gnome. Yeah, okay.
Golden Dome.
Well,
Friday, Jesse.
What was that?
You
Well, I
was on
say-
WC Gold last Friday.
Did I watch it? No.
Did you watch it?
I don't have cable anymore.
yeah.
He was
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, Vern really likes Brian. So yeah.
Did you record it for me, Dano? Because I don't have
My
cable.
house to watch it.
Huh?
You're going to come to my house to watch it.
Well, we'll have to have a watch party at Dano's.
I'll bet you this Friday you'll probably see it again, replayed again, so you'll catch it.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't
you'll
have
catch it.
cable, so I have to catch it some other way or bootleg it. So we'll have to go to the JJ Land and have a watch party at your house.
There you go.
That sounds like fun. Brag out the drinks and the popcorn and kick back and enjoy the show.
Yeah, it sounds
Hopefully
good to
after the
me.
show, find a couple nuggets.
Yeah, the show's a 2-hour thing. So yeah, this
For a show. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
No,
Because it's
I
gold.
got the cable myself a while back.
Yeah, when we had Vernon on with the crew, when Brian was with them, and
Yeah, I remember that one.
Vernon seemed to think highly of Brian. Why, I don't know. It's not like he's a great guy or a good dredger. Just kidding, Brian. You know I am. You know I am.
Waiting to see how TV portrays Brian. I'm waiting to see where they go with him.
You're right.
Yeah, wait till you see the show. You'll see
pants
Mark
on.
Brian in action.
With no pants on, huh?
Oh boy.
Okay.
I
So-
we've been fortunate to know Brian personally. Actually, Brian, anytime you're coming through, you're more than welcome here. Uh, I don't care what the neighbor said about parking on city property with your rig. Screw 'em.
What's up, Jason Combs?
Hey, Jason, one of our Great White North friends. We also had CJ in here from the Great White North.
Uh-huh.
Actually, Jason just had a birthday yesterday, I believe it was. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
Even though I
Let me
said
say-
happy birthday to you yesterday or the day before. I don't
Let me say hi
remember.
to let me say hi to hey you guys prospecting. What's up?
Hey, you guys.
Hey, you.
Oh,
Hey, you
apparently
guys.
it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So happy early birthday, Jason. My
Oh, happy birthday,
dyslexia
early.
kicking in. So
Yeah.
I didn't know dyslexia could work that way. So what the hell?
Yeah.
So when you go out out of the desert and stuff, I'm sure you don't go by yourself, right? Too
I
often.
just won't say so nobody sneaks up on me. But
Okay.
Now,
Oh,
do
no,
you carry a
what-
sidearm like our buddy Jeff Williams?
I don't wield it around like Jeff Williams, but you know,
one of the things that we always ask about.
you
One
know,
of the things we always ask about is, have you ever had any scary or dangerous
no.
things happen to you while you were out there?
No, it's really amazing. I've been well blessed going out there in all of my gold prospecting adventures. Never have had an issue, and I meet people all the time. In fact, this weekend, I'm out there working the claim, and I had 6 people come up to me, and they're all subscribers, and they're like, "Wow, this is great! Got to meet you." They're all excited, and 2 women, that are prospectors came up, for the same thing, and it was, kind of fun. But I get that all the time, and most of the people out there are pretty cool. You hear about some people that are kind of a little off, and you just kind of just stay away from them, and they're
Right.
more reclusive anyway, so they're not going to come over to you anyhow. So yeah.
Right.
But you know what, it did develop some friendships. I have a story that I was new to the area, and I thought I was on BLM land because there was no claim markers, and I just got my little dry washer, and this is many years ago. And I started setting up, and I started running in this little stream. I saw this exposed bedrock, and so I started sucking up the vacuum and running it through the dry washer, and I was finding some little bits of gold. And all of a sudden, this guy pulls up next to my setup and everything and says, "Hey, what you doing?" And I says, "Oh, I'm doing a little prospecting." He says, "You're on private property." And I just like sunk. I was like, "Oh crap, really?"
Oh boy.
And he happened to be the owner. And I told him, honestly, I thought I was on BLM land because there's no markers or anything. And he says, "No, the BLM land was actually on the other side of the dirt road. So the dirt road separated the two. I was just off." And I says, "Well, I'm sorry, I'll pack up and move on, and I'll go across the street and mine over there." And he says, "No, go ahead and keep mining." And and I showed him my gold I was getting. And he says, "Oh, this is cool." And so we shook hands, and everything was all right. He could have shot me. Yeah. It was all right. And then I met up with him a few weeks later, and he told me, he says, "Allan, I saw that wash, and I went down there with my metal detector, and I got this nice nugget just downstream from where you were digging."
Nice.
And we have been friends ever since.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great.
So do you metal detect at all?
I don't do a lot. I have a gold bug too. I've had for eons.
Uh-huh.
And I'm really looking at those monsters, but I use my gold bug primarily for scanning my tailings. So especially my header tailings, because I'm only screening down to 1/4 inch. So anything larger than 1/4 inch goes out on the header.
Right.
So I always scan that. So if I have a nugget that's larger than 1/4 inch, well, the gold bug's just going to scream when it sees that. So, but I have yet to find one. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Unless your metal detector isn't picking it up either.
Yeah, no, it's working because I have been on my area where I'm digging and I have found little nuggets that are 1/4 inch and a little bit larger.
Right.
One in particular was down 3 inches in solid caliche. I mean, solid. And so I had to chisel it out to get to it. And then I've got other nuggets that are probably a dime size nuggets that I found in the same area that I'm working. So
Cool.
they're out there. Yep.
Yeah, sounds like you need at least a monster.
Yeah. Oh, I think a monster would be more accurate than what I'm currently using. Absolutely. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
gold bug are you using?
What was that again?
Which gold bug are you using?
The gold bug too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 75, what is it, 75 hertz or whatever? Yeah.
I
So-
hear that's a pretty good machine though. I have the Fisher
Well, it
Gold
is.
Bug Pro, which
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah, the gold bug, I was out, in fact, I was out using it 2 weekends ago, and I was finding little tiny pieces of frayed electrical wire that was maybe like a 1/2 inch long and like just tiny diameter. Can't even measure it. And down in the soil about 3 or 4 inches, and the gold bug is screaming at it, you know. So it's finding stuff.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So it's not as good as probably like a, was it a GP 7000 or something like that, but yeah.
right.
But yeah, my primary purpose is what I do is, like, if I'm digging up my material and I stockpile it next to the wash plant, I always scan it with a metal detector before it goes in the wash plant. And then after that, I also scan the tailings afterwards too. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And
have you gone out just strictly metal detecting for nuggets or anything? Just
yeah, I've spent some days where I just didn't feel like running the wash plant, and I'll just go out there, and maybe I'm pressed for time and I can only spend like half a day out there, and so I'll just go out there and swing a little bit. So
yeah, I like watching Bill Southern's videos.
oh yeah, good man. Yeah,
Oh,
I
he's
like his
actually-
videos.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, he does well on explaining stuff. So
Yep.
Can
Now, there's
learn a
another
lot
guy
from you.
and you can't beat anything more than actually being able to go out with somebody that has experience like Two Toes, like we
Yeah.
did in September. And I mean, I found just over 4 grams of nuggets, so that was cool. I think we all did about that, nugget wise.
was cool.
The 3 I found was like 6.4, I believe.
Yeah.
What was cool was how he explained to us how the gold moved through there, and then we all started finding it where he said the gold would move through.
Right.
Very good
So-
explanation that day of the area to us.
Yes, that helped a lot, and it pinpointed where we wanted to work, and we all worked it, and we all found gold. And in fact, we found between 6 of us.
Let me see. Todd,
Six.
you, Dano,
of
myself. Yeah, 6. An ounce and a quarter. 1 and a
That's
quarter
pretty good.
ounces for an afternoon.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
All in one spot, all in one boulder dump.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool day. But
Yeah,
it's fun. It's definitely fun finding nuggets with a metal detector.
absolutely.
I'm more of a dig it in the stream kind of guy. That's what I learned. So,
Yep.
but definitely we like traveling, like learning other ways and other places to prospect, which I think is really a cool thing. So where else have you been? You want to go to Nome?
Yeah, I'd like to go to Nome, but mostly I've been living out here in the desert for 30 years, you know, and I'm just outside of Las Vegas. And so, you know, I like Nevada. So I'll go to places like Northern Nevada. There's places like Johnny, which is near Pahrump. I love going up to Virginia City, you know, and places out that way as well. Even though I haven't had any luck finding any, you know, nuggets out there with a detector, but it's just neat to go out that way and do a lot of exploring. Yeah. What I like about Nevada too is that once you leave the city of Las Vegas or Las Vegas Valley, it truly is the old West as it was, you know, 150 years ago or whatever, you know.
Virginia City was neat. The boardwalk all down through the town and all. Very neat place.
Oh, Virginia City.
People all dressed up in period stuff, walking up and down the streets. There's 6 shooters on, and
yep, yep.
It's really neat.
Well, you see how Jeff Williams loves to go to Virginia City too. That's his, you know, stomping ground as well.
He loves opening Arizona quite a bit too. That area. I wish I was into prospecting when I grew up in Southern California and I lived right down on the river from Oatman and Bullhead.
There you go. Yeah.
And I was too busy doing stupid things like chasing girls and stuff, but hey.
Yeah, I got stuck in Austin, Nevada one year.
Wow.
Talk about, let's see, that was back then it was population of 300 during tourist season.
Yep.
So I was there for a little while, worked a silver mill.
Oh, wow. Good.
Hung out, found turquoise, found arrowheads, found a lot of cool stuff, wander in the desert. But yeah, my car broke down in Austin. And I worked there for a little while and hung out, and then finally left at the end of the summer. I think it was the end of the summer. But it was a really cool experience.
Absolutely. You know what? You tell that story about your car breaking down. I know several other people that have told that same story.
Oh, well, dude, let me explain that little portion right there for you. When I broke down, I was coming back from California, right? Had a 1950 Dodge panel truck with a flathead 6 in it. That's as far as it got. When I broke down, the guy, just as you're pulling into town, he said, just park it over there in that lot over there. There was nothing but cars in this lot that done the same thing. Blew up there, you know, from overheating and stuff. You know, I just crawled in there, and, you know, it was steaming bad. Oh yeah, that whole lot was nothing but cars. The same thing had happened. Yeah,
that's probably
they broke down, but I stuck around. Got a job. Like I said, I worked at a silver mill, found a place. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, Nevada is dotted with all kinds of old towns, and I'm sure, you know, obviously back in the heyday, it was the gold and silver that brought in the population, but there's been a renewal over the decades of, you know, people ending up there for whatever circumstance, and you know, and staying, you know, and making the population grow for whatever town, you know.
It was and I worked at a silver mill that was cleaning up a bunch of tailings that got flooded down to a valley, and it was millions of dollars worth of silver in it. So that's what we were working, and that's where I was working for the summer.
Nice.
So that was interesting. It was fun, it was an adventure. It's okay when you're in your 20s, your early 20s, you can do shit like that.
Oh yeah, I know. Me too. Yeah, but it's you know, whenever I'm traveling, you know, most people will drive through the deserts like Nevada, California, Utah, you know, and they'll say, oh, this is such a boring drive. Like, oh, I can't stand it. There's nothing out here. To me, I'm like, I'm having a feast. This is like, woohoo, you know, this is great. You know, I'll sit there. Oh, I got to go prospect over there. Oh, I got to check out that, you know. And if I'm with my wife or somebody, look at me like I'm nuts.
My wife hates it because I'll go, that's a dirt road going nowhere. I'll go check it out. Where you going? I'm going that way. What's there? I don't know. Let's go look.
You know, probably one of the most profound areas that I've been to is a place called Belmont. and it's almost right in the center of Nevada. It's a little bit northeast of Tonopah, about 60 miles. And when you go to Belmont, it's a ghost town, okay? And it was actually the county seat for Nye County, which is the largest county in Nevada at its heyday. But anyhow, you go up where the smelter and foundry is, and you sit on this mountain view, and you look in almost 360 degrees in all directions, and there's nothing, I mean, just as far as you can see. And it's like, who found that silver deposit back in 1866?
What were they doing
Just
out
wandering
there?
around out in the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. It's
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
That
was, I mean, and I've told this story out here before, walking around the desert and coming onto an old fire ring, and realizing there's a bunch of stone seats around, and sitting there and then sitting down and finding napping chips from when they were napping points, and finding broken points. It was just, it's amazing. You're out in the middle of nowhere, and you come across this. You come across some old broken down wagon wheels and frames and stuff. And you're going, what?
Oh yeah. 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 Well, you think about it, the Pioneer Trail, at least in Nevada, cuts right across the 80 or parallels the 80 freeway,
Right. That's where I was. That's where Austin is.
Yep. Austin, Eureka, all those places, Elko.
Right.
They're all right off. And then you got other spurs like Jawbridge and a few others that are north and south. And yeah, and it's amazing. And that's how that's how 6 Mile Canyon and Gold Canyon got discovered, because it's right along the Pioneer Trail. When those folks were going through Dayton, Nevada, which is now today's Dayton, Nevada, they decided to reach out and pan for gold. And then they started following upstream. And of course, the 6 Mile Canyon is an interesting story, because they kept getting this gray sludge that was plugging up their sluices. And so they kept working their way up. Well, finally, somebody got the brains to assay that gray sludge. And what it was high-grade silver. High-grade silver. And then that was it.
The world famous Comstock mine.
Yeah, the rest is history. Yeah.
Now, have you ever done anything at Rye Patch?
At where?
Isn't it the Rye Patch?
No, I haven't done anything yet.
Talk about Virginia City, how they paved the streets with that.
Oh yeah.
They call it streets of silver. There's a reason they put all that silver down for road bedding when they was digging mines.
Yep.
That was just leftovers for them. They didn't want it. They had no use for it till they realized what it was.
Right.
Yeah, and well, the silver was so high grade that they actually had to add waste tailings to the mill to process the silver. Otherwise, it would just gum up their process. That's how rich it was. Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
Really, and even the tailings that we were running were rich in silver. It was amazing how much silver we were getting out of this sand and just mucky stuff. It was really great looking. And then we were running through the filters, and it was just caked on these filters. Yeah. It was incredible.
Yeah, because most silver naturally found in the environment is usually black. It's oxidized, especially out in the desert. Right. And it's it looks like what we call dendrites. And even though it's not manganese oxide, it's actually silver, but it looks very much the same. And so it's really hard to find nearly, a sulfide form of silver, So it's pretty amazing, especially, up there they find it, Yeah. So, but it's.
Well, I know the process they use for extracting silver now is different from what they were doing back then. Now,
yeah,
they use cyanides and chemical processes.
Right. Well, yeah, silver with cyanide, it only works if it's oxidized. Okay, so that's the only time you can really use cyanide. And I knew somebody who was running a cyanide process with oxide silver.
That's what we were running there in Nevada, was a cyanide process.
Right.
We would run it through a screw. We dump it and crush the rocks and everything and the sand. run that all through a screw, separate with cyanide in the water,
Yep.
separate the silver from the sand, and shoot it out to settling pond, then bring it back in, run it through a filter, and scrape the filters and smelt that down. And
Yeah. Yeah. That's where you got your precipitated silver, and then you melted it down into ingots and stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Once a week, the boss would take all the scraping from the filters that we pull out and scrape it all down in a little bucket, and then you take the buckets and then you go into Reno, I believe. Wasn't too far. Maybe it wasn't Reno. I don't remember where he went. He went somewhere. He came back with silver bars. That was always cool.
Neat to see that. Yeah.
It was neat to see that, take off in a few buckets, couple buckets, just filled, and come back with some silver.
Right.
It was always cool.
Yeah.
It was hard work though.
Well, and I've been to Colorado. I've done a little prospecting up there. Didn't really find much, but it was just fun to just go up and see the history of those areas, especially around Durango, Silverton, places like that,
Again, I lived in Idaho Springs, just outside of Denver.
Yeah.
Up in the, where the Aurora mine is.
Oh yeah, all those places. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. I lived there for a while. I did a lot of traveling when I got out of service. So that was my first taste of gold, but it didn't affect me at that time.
You didn't get the fever yet, huh?
No, because I think you get the fever when you literally find gold for the first time, when you're the first person ever see. Because I bought pay dirt bags, and it was cool. I went to a pay and play place, and it was cool. It was fun. I learned about gold, and I learned more about gold. But I didn't really get the fever until I was actually out on a stream and found my first wild gold, as I like to call it.
There you go. That's a good way to say it.
Wild gold hasn't been found yet, so it's wild gold. So that's when I literally caught the fever, and it wasn't until I actually found it. And I think that's what the fever is the fact that you have found something that's got value to it.
You physically stuck the shovel and pick in the ground and got it.
Exactly. You dug it up yourself, as opposed to, like I said, buying a bag of pay dirt, which is cool. There's plenty of reason to have pay dirts around. Lots of good reasons for having pay dirts around.
Right.
But I didn't get the fever myself till literally found my first piece of gold. And I know exactly, right now I can picture in my mind exactly what it looks like. I don't have it anymore, but I know what it looked like.
You never forget it. Never forget it. Yeah.
No.
That's funny.
It actually looked like a shaving. It looked like a piece of brass shaving, Somebody was building something. That's what it looked like. It was really small. But yeah.
There's no cure for the gold fever either. It's
no.
Once you get it, once you're infected with it, the only way to remedy it is more gold.
Yeah, more fever.
Yeah. So it's a fun thing. It's a fun hobby, and it's really great. It's doing my videos and stuff that just makes it more fun, and I love talking with the public and people writing and stuff, and some people come up with some really great ideas, and it's just awesome, and I think in particular, miners or gold miners, even though most of us are probably dirt poor, we're probably the most brilliant, innovative people out there in terms of building stuff, coming up with stuff.
And here's how bad we are. We'll take a perfectly good piece of equipment and modify it to fit our needs.
Yeah.
Our wants, no matter what the manufacturer says. I know they all hate it, but we do it anyway.
Every miner out there alters their equipment a little.
Somewhere along the line, they'll do something to make it easier or a little more efficient, or but let's face it, 9 out of 10 times it's about ease of operation. and make
Yep.
it easier for ourselves.
Well,
Yep.
heck, we have guys like Allan, myself, look at wire mesh and buckets and think of something.
Exactly.
Guys that look at truck bed liners and build a dredge or a high banker out of it, and all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
It's funny because all those things come around every so often again.
David Villa says we're tweakers.
Whatever.
Tweakers for mining
Yes,
equipment.
we are, David. We're all tweakers. Tweak it just a little bit.
I'm jonesing for my gold fix, man.
Yeah, I'm ready to go out.
Well, it's a funny thing is you go to the hardware store and you don't know what you're going to find, but you're looking for something that'll fix or work with something. And so you're going up and down the aisles and you're looking at everything, and the store clerks are all looking at you like, can I help you? And I'll look out and say, no, I haven't found it yet. and they go, well, what are you looking for? I says, I don't know yet.
I know when I see it though.
But I'll let you know as soon as I do find it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I go, what are you looking for? I don't know.
Oh,
Whoa.
I've had that happen in Menards or Home Depot. You're like, well, like when I made my PVC dry land nozzle, I'm like, well, I need this and this and this, but I want it
Yeah.
all out of PVC. Well, what are you using it for? I could probably help you. And I'm
Oh,
like,
no, you can't.
That is so much fun. And really that's kind of fun watching these people in the stores trying to help you figure out what you need.
Right.
And then get interested in what you're doing,
Yep. I some of them I actually generally told them because, they were begging me like, what are you going to use this for? Because they knew I was going to use it off label.
Right. Right.
You're not going to use it for what it's meant for.
Then they just
And so they tell them and they're like, wow, really?
Oh, I've had them, do the same thing. Well, what about this? Will this work? How about that? Maybe.
Yeah, I get a cat. Well, I mean, if you look at my stuff, the trommel, the even the shaker deck that I have now, all the items pretty much can be found either online or in a hardware store. There's really nothing specially fabricated out of any of my stuff. And that's what I like about it. Like I have I have 3 video series on how to build those bucket trommels, because you can just go to the hardware store or go on eBay or Amazon and get the supplies for it. And you don't have to make a lot of modification and boom, you're in business,
Hell, I do things like I'll be at an auction. And as a matter of fact, I got a set downstairs right now. I was at an auction and they had the vibrators off of one of those old hotel vibrating beds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my thought. So I could use that for a shaker table,
I knew exactly where you're going with that.
or even an earthquake classifier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I pay like $5 for it, so I got, and it's 3 separate units. So I can, run 3 separate things. those quarter bed vibrating machines.
Yeah. Yep. And you can actually buy those vibrators on eBay brand new too.
Sure. But I like auctions myself. That's one of my forms of treasure hunt.
Yep. So yeah, and what I like about it is being able to create things that then other people can use and share with them. I can't tell you, there's got to be well over 100 people, maybe a couple hundred people that have looked at my how to build a trommel videos and have made their own, and then they send me pictures back saying, hey Allan, look what I just made. And I marvel at their craftsmanship. I mean, some of them look better than mine. It's like, dang, that's really good.
Well,
so it's cool.
Everybody has their own ideas of how to come up with the same results.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
some are better, some are as good, some ain't worth a crap. But you know, everybody's got their own idea, and hell yeah, that's why we do this so we can get better at what we're doing, whatever it is.
Right. We're all learning. We're all having fun, and we're trying to.
That's the important part, that we're having fun.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
It's about having fun too. I mean, because if it's all work, it's no fun, is it?
Yeah.
Sometimes the fun's the gold. You get more of that than you get gold sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you spend the time and have fun building something and you go out and get the gold with it, that's just like, well, that's just primo,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's like double gold fever.
Yeah.
Because not only did you find something no one's ever found before, you built the equipment, or you designed a piece of equipment to help you find it. So now
Yeah.
you got double fever. Now I gotta make more equipment, find more gold.
Right. And you get the comments. Yeah, you get the comments, or people come up to you and go, wow, that's really cool. Can I make one of those? Sure, go ahead.
They start going, hey, can I buy that from you?
That too. That too.
I'm sure you get a lot of that.
Well, with the wash plant, I'm getting a lot of inquiries. That's why I'm heading down this road to making a commercial product, is because there's so many people out there that are already lining up.
Well, you have to remember too, not everybody is mechanically inclined. Not everybody's, has the ability to create and produce things. Some people are good idea people, but they don't know how to put that idea to work. Yeah. So when you got somebody goes, man, I love that thing, I just can't do it. And in your mind, you're going, yeah, but this is really simple, but it's not for them. So you have to be able to be flexible enough to go, yeah, I can make another one. I'll sell this one to you,
Yeah. Yeah. It's all different levels of DIY people that are out there.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep. And I have some people that would rather buy it, but at the same time, I'll post videos on stuff to help inspire somebody, maybe point him in a direction or something like that. So,
right. Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to pass out information and knowledge.
Yeah.
We like doing it. We like doing it especially with the young kids, like in scouts and stuff, because they're kind of into that, being outdoors, and so it's just another thing that we can, we like to show. We do scout demonstrations, and
they probably love that.
Oh, they do. They love it. Actually, the parents love it more.
Yeah, I get a kick out of the kids, but the parents crack me up, Allan. They crack me up. I've seen parents push their kids aside.
Ask a ton of questions. I ask a ton of questions.
Yeah.
Which is fine. This is cool, anything that helps the young kids' minds, go into a different direction, something positive that the parents can get involved in, so they're both heading that direction.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that at all. No,
well, I bring out the church young men and stuff, and I have a place out there where I'm digging. I have private property too, and I have a house out there, and so we do a camp out at night. We set up the telescopes, look at the stars, and then the next morning we head out to the gold field and we start running material through the wash plant. And then each kid gets to pan some of the concentrates, and I got these little vials to put their gold in,
That's
and
cool.
that's one of that's one of the cool things about the Ohio, the Buckeye chapter of the GPAA, is that they do a lot of scouting programs. They do a lot of community outreach with teaching kids about prospecting, and not just the kids, but the adults too. In fact, this all summer long, they'll be doing demonstrations at one of the nature centers nearby. So and that's I like helping. I'm sorry.
Our future.
No, I'm not. Not one bit.
Got to get them interested in it. If we don't get them interested in it, it'll be something that'll die out.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I like the idea of just to get them off their dang phones for a weekend.
Yes, or the video game. Yes,
Yeah, the video games. Yeah, get them all
Absolutely.
away from that. Get out to reality. You know.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's really inspiring, and to see these kids, and some of these kids really lock onto it. They like, oh, this is cool, and then they're scouring over, picking up rocks, going, look at this rock.
That reminds me of one of the kids at Camp Mayaconda when we did a gold rush there. This kid, he was like with every group to come through, full of questions and just wanting to know about everything. That group would leave, and a little bit later, they would be back with another group. More questions. That's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that is so cool. That's what it's all about, as far as I'm concerned. You get that one kid really excited about it.
We had hundreds of kids that day. I mean, we had floods of kids coming through troop by troop. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they would bring them in troops at a time, because they were doing a bunch of different activities.
That's
and
awesome.
they circuit them through.
Then we had to do an evaluation on them. We had to hand out a little how they did.
Right.
Nice.
That was a fun time.
That was. And for all you guys out there that think that's really a hard thing to put on, it really isn't. Especially if the scout troop or the scouts in your area are willing to help out. It's really not that bad. You get your local club. Our local club donated little $5 bags of pay dirt. We gave to some of them, that some of the kids bought some and take home with them. We gave some away.
Yeah.
But but they had a good time and they learned something, and it's different.
How many kids that are out there, and including adults too, that have never had that opportunity to actually physically go out and prospect or dig up a piece of gold, and even like where I'm at in the desert, just to go out there and throw a pick and shovel in the ground and come up with gold, real gold,
or a pain in the stream and come up with gold,
Yeah.
And what's nice about it is, like we were talking earlier, it's everywhere. You can find it.
You can find it. Yep, exactly.
If you're new, my advice to new people is always the same. Join a local gold club, join a national club, join a club, even if it's just for 1 year. Join it, get all the help and information and experience you can from that club, because 9 out of 10 times they're going to be willing to help show you everything they know, plus, So yeah, if you're new, you want to get into it, find a local club near you. I know I'm preaching to the choir. Most of these guys are experienced for the most part, but every once in a while we get people in here and you don't anything about it, and that's good. That's what we like. I've never seen. Let me stop real quick here and say hi to RST and Amethyst Angel. I've never seen that name in here. Welcome. And John Noblit.
Welcome. With the bash this year, we're going to have people snare prospected this year.
Deej, she's a Zacharias bottle digger, never prospected. So and Wolfman Rants, they've never prospected. Polly and Rusty have never prospected. So
we've done hooked our co-hosts, Angela and Rose. We've done hooked them too.
Oh yeah, and they started off magnet fishing. So
Alan, I don't know if you noticed that we talk about the hand, the treasure hand, because we consider just about any form of treasure hunting as part of the same community. We're all treasure hunters, so that's what we're about. We're about all kinds of treasures.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of folks that are out there detecting, finding Civil War stuff,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Awesome stuff.
Oh yeah. And even back in the time of the revolution too, finding stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Spotting colonial. In fact, we've got a guy coming on soon. I don't know when you got him scheduled or if you got him scheduled yet, but Green Mountain, metal detecting. That guy finds all kinds of cool stuff, all colonial.
Oh, that's
stuff.
awesome. Yeah, I don't think I've seen his channel or anything, but
Yeah, Green Mountain metal detecting.
okay.
He's up in Vermont.
Oh no, that's Green Mountain Gold Trap.
No,
That's
not Joseph.
no,
Uh,
not really.
it's a metal detecting channel.
Oh, but it's
Right.
it's not the sluice, it's a metal okay, so all right, so
Right.
somebody else with a close
Even though
name.
the Green Mountain Gold Trap's a great fluid bed classifier, technically, but it's an
Technically.
awesome fluid bed sluice. I have one. So does
Okay.
Dano.
Yeah.
You don't have one yet, do you, Jesse?
No, he says I gotta go down and visit him if I want one. So
Well,
next
it's
time we're
more
out
up and over, but yeah, I
there,
hear
I gotta go there.
you.
I gotta go there to get mine.
You guys would have had one if you would have stopped there on your way to Herkimer. So
I know.
That kind of was a messed up ordeal, but it all worked out. We just didn't
Yeah.
get Brother Joe, but it all worked out. We still had a good time.
Yeah.
Spend a day at
We
the
were supposed to go to
Herkimer.
Brother Joe's.
Huh?
We were supposed to go there.
Well, we were supposed to, but it kind of changed plans because of picking up camp and having to reset camp. We just kind of,
Right.
let's just go halfway home, camp at the Herkimer mine Herkimer's, and
well,
drive.
you know what's
home.
funny, when you came down, if you went or west from where you guys were at in Vermont, you would have drove right past Brother
Hey, we're tourists,
Joseph.
man. Give us a break.
You went right through his town.
Well,
Right
we wouldn't
through.
have got to the Herkimer diamond mine till it was dark. Then we couldn't have set up camp. We couldn't. It wouldn't have worked out.
Oh,
Actually, we stopped at the Walmarts by his house, so
oh well, there's the next time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
What was the next time?
Joe's a good guy. He makes an absolutely great product, and I love the high banker I made out of it too. So I don't know if he liked how I tweaked it
never
a
happy
little
with
to
the
do
way
it.
it's set up. You gotta work on it.
See,
Gotta
there's the creativity of gold miners.
right. Absolutely. Well, then it's that time, buddy.
Is it
Wow,
already? Yeah, it
time
sure
flies
is.
when you're having a good time. I told you. Phew, goes
Oh.
by.
Real quick before we get off here for the night,
What?
just in the mail, Barb just brought them home
What's that?
Ooh.
from Top Cat Prospecting for the
Oh, okay.
bags. 4
Oh.
bags.
Nice.
Oh.
Top Cat, our buddy
Yeah.
Top Cat from the Motherlode.
He sent a sticker
There you go.
and he sent Graham bags.
Ooh.
4 of them. 4 of them.
Nice.
Thank you
Very
very
nice.
much, Tom.
We'll have to
And
figure out what to do with those.
I know Smith's Gold probably at baseball right now because he coaches, but Two Toes, are you out there lurking? I know how Gary likes to lurk.
He just likes to watch and listen. He don't want to talk in the chat.
I know, but Gary's a
Oh.
great guy.
Yes, he is. Him
Great
and Jeff.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there
Yeah.
again. I'm so envious.
Yeah. I can't thank him enough for helping us out when we were out there. That was awesome.
He just had it put out a video moving boulders. I said, I want to help you move boulders anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time. There will be a next time with those guys. I guarantee
go.
it. And maybe one day too, Allan, we'll see you out in the desert.
Well, love to
Hey.
have you, and yeah, I'm thinking sometime in the future of like doing an open house on the claim. and people want to come up and swing at a detector or run a dry washer or something, come out for the weekend and have a good time.
That sounds like fun.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll let you
absolutely.
know next time we're in Arizona, Nevada.
Yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just send me a message and or or even through my YouTube channel. And I think that last photo that you had there, that's got all my channel information and my email address. So if folks out there want to get a hold of me and chat, go ahead. So
Yeah,
uh,
here, I'll share it real quick.
yeah, just throw it back up there. That way, the folks that are here, they can see it, and just go to Allan's Gold Mining on YouTube, and you'll pick up all my contact information from there too, as well.
Awesome. What's up? Patrick Moore, you're just in time for us to end the show.
What the heck, Patrick?
So he just got off work and give him a break.
Well, eh,
He was lurking. Whatever.
Well, now you can replay it, so
Right.
right. Make sure you comment when you watch the replay.
That's
buddy.
right. That's right.
We know you. We love you, brother. Patrick is a good friend of ours over in Indiana. We play on one of his permissions.
Oh, okay.
Great guy. It's one of the family. A brother of another mother.
That's how it is.
Him and Wendy run the Wayward Home for Lost Miners.
Wendy and
Or that's a
Patrick's
home for
Wayward
wayward miners.
Home.
Lost
Home
Home
for
Wayward
Wayward
Miners.
Miners. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we crash when we go to Indiana.
It
Right.
gets the best pot pies that they make that are killer. That pot
Yep.
pie's like 5 pounds, one pot pie.
Oh yeah, good stuff. We
That's
need to
good
make
stuff.
it to Indiana a bit more this year, but I say we need to make it to the Wilson a lot this season.
I think we need to go to JJ Land.
Yeah, that's honey hole permission of Dano's, Allan.
We have yet to exploit her.
I found a .73 picker there.
Wow.
That was outstanding for where we live around here.
Yeah.
I'd
be doing the happy dance.
If you've seen the original Uncut video, you would understand the excitement of the day.
Oh, absolutely.
I had words to put that on video.
Well, any gold is good gold too. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, there's a reason we call it the JJ Land, and if you saw the uncut video, you'd know why.
They said,
you, Kevin.
Didn't you? I said, have you ever heard me talk like that? Have you ever heard me be that excited? Are you kidding me?
He was very excited. So was I, because that's right in our backyard.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
you didn't have to go to California in the Sierras to dig that up. It was in your backyard.
Yes.
And if there's one,
it's literally pretty much in Dano's backyard for the most part.
Yeah.
15 minutes from my house.
That's awesome.
And it's all bedrock bottom creek, which you don't find much in my area like that. Most of it's cobbles but no, it's definitely a nice place. We need to go check it out and exploit it a little bit.
Yeah. Look a little deeper into it. Well, the old saying, gold is where you find it.
Oh, and I love that saying, Allan. I love that saying.
Right in that with JJ hole it laid.
Yep.
Yeah. We have the ladies in the house going,
Yeah, the word exploit, the word exploit is what I choose to use on this particular channel, because the word I really want to use would get us kicked off.
Well, welcome back, Mark. Just in time for us to wrap her up, I think. I know it's still fairly early for Allan. I'm sure he has
Yeah,
Other
just
things
about
to
time for
do?
dinner, and I know you guys are probably time for bed.
Yep.
Yeah,
Work
I'm
comes
getting
early.
there. Getting
We'll
there.
we'll be heading that way soon.
Jesse,
Yeah,
he's retired. He just does what he wants. Jesse don't have no
I'm
time.
retired.
Yeah.
I'll stay up tonight, do some more computer work, getting stuff ready to print out tomorrow.
That's the advantage of being retired. You can just set your own clock.
Hey, dude, I worked a long time for that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting closer too. I can't believe I'm coming up on 60, my next birthday. Jeez, time flies.
I'm 70. I'll be 71 this year. I've
Oh,
been
that's
working
great.
since I've been working some kind of hustle or job since I was 6. So
There you go.
I'm done.
Jesse Olden.
Well, I'm 62 and I see the light at the end of the tunnel, so it's
Here.
getting closer, you know. Yep.
I see Heavy Meadow talking to Ron for the Hills, but I haven't seen
See
him.
Ron.
I didn't see Ron in here either.
I see Robinson Prospecting and Ron F, but no Ron for the Hills. And you know I ain't gonna do it if I don't see him in
I
here.
don't see him.
Heavy Meadow. Nice try, buddy.
Yeah, I think
Nice try.
he's trying to. Yes, he was, Ed.
He's trying.
Mark Miller says he's 61 and he's done.
Yeah, I see that.
We're getting closer to my nomadic lifestyle.
I was how old was I? I was 62 when I retired.
Nice. Yeah, I wish I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to retire early with no penalty, no anything. I got all my full pension.
Nice.
Said, yeah, let me out of here before I destroy my body and I can't do nothing.
That's right.
You know?
That's why I'm
Enjoy it
going to
while you
retire as early as possible. Because
Yeah.
I'm
You know,
in
like I said,
construction and that's not good. Who needs a gym with prospecting and construction? But geez, I'd rather beat my body to death prospecting than swinging
Right.
a hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yep.
I see it that way too. I've got so many projects on the list and a bucket full of bucket list things. I need to retire just to handle it.
Yeah, you won't. You know, seriously though, when I retired, I coached football for a little while, youth football. I was football coach for a little while, and that was fun, and I really enjoyed it. But then I didn't enjoy the league anymore. It got too weak, let's say. So I got out. But then I'm just kind of getting bored sitting around.
Good night, Holly.
I found prospecting, and heck yeah, man, it's been great. Really helped out a lot of different ways. Not money wise, that's for sure, but
Made it through California last year. I was proud of Jesse. Jesse did it, man.
You
Them
did
hikes
really good for an old man on those mountains, Jesse.
dang right he did.
and
The Sierras are some tough terrain.
And you have to remember, I was mending from a torn ligament in my knee.
Yeah, true.
Yes, I was mending. So
I
when you
just
see
wish I would have saw your dance on the secret creek, you know. But Dano saw it, so.
Hey, look who's here! What's up, Jeff?
You put that cartoon little diddly diddly diddly. It'd have matched him perfect running around that rock.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing, Smith's Gold?
Hey Jeff, what's up?
I'm trying to wrestle him and be a guest on the show. He's about as elusive.
Yeah, look at Terry Curry there in his little message about he's been chasing the gold for quite a while in his retirement.
Heck yeah.
Since he was
good for
15.
You. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you want to check out our trip to California. Well, we all put out videos, but Smith Gold's got some good ones. My favorite, of course, is Two Toes and
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I watched Two Toes.
Two Toes and the Gold Diggers.
Yeah, the Gold Diggers. Watch that video. That's us. That
Yeah.
was us.
And what I like about days like that day is when you're all YouTubers, you get that many different angles of that day.
Right. Different takes on that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Same way that first Saturday we got there and went to the creek and had them ribs and chicken and all that. There was like 6 different videos from different people that day.
right.
2 toes and the gold digger. That's what it was. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
But everybody, thanks for popping in, Jeff. Greatly appreciate it. We miss you during baseball season. And again, Gary, 2 toes, if you're out there lurking, eating supper, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Hurry up with your computer studio. Love to have you on as a guest. You too, Jeff.
Really.
You too.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Greatly appreciate you all being here.
Yeah. I just want to, oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to thank everybody for letting me have this opportunity to chat with folks and, Dan and Jess and Ed, just great talking with you. It's, we get, whenever gold miners get together, we never shut up, so.
Yeah, we know. I know.
Yeah. And it's just fun to talk with other folks that do have the same interest and all the audience that's been here and messaging on the side on the little chat room. And it's been great. And just thank you for the opportunity.
You're more than welcome, Allan. Thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Yep.
And stay tuned for some more videos. They'll be popping up here this week. So, yep. Yeah.
And if you want to catch that video we were talking about where Allan goes through the innovation of his newest creation, it's still pinned up in the chat.
There you go.
Make sure if you're not subscribed to Allan, boost him up some more, show him some Flash Fam love, which I'm sure all the prospectors in here are already subscribed to you.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're all already subscribed to you.
Yeah, neither would I.
If not, they will be, I'm sure.
Yeah.
These guys,
Well, it's a growing thing, and the subscriber list continues to keep moving in a positive direction, which is great.
That's good. More power to you, Allan.
Well, thank you very much, and same with you and your channel and all that too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've enjoyed watching your videos. I don't watch them all the time, but when I catch them, I enjoyed watching them. I'm always learning something, and that's I have that philosophy. I got to learn something new every day, even if it's dumb.
Even if he has to relearn it tomorrow.
Right.
We're all doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Make sure to catch.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you folks have a good night.
You too, Allan.
Okay. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Sounds great. Thanks again, brother.
Bye.
Everybody, next week we're having Dive for Good with us. Bryson, should be a great show. Had the pleasure of being with him down in Nashville. And all of you are the real gold we long for. The gold in our pan, that flash in our pan is the bonus. Thank you for being part of the Flash Fam. May you always have a flash in your pan.
And you know what he's going to say since Jesse didn't say it.
Right, and Rose ain't here, back him up. Maybe one day, too, we'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. Love you all.
Get your nose out there. Good night.
Good night, Ed.
Good night, Ed.
Good night.
Good night, Terry Marshall.
Good night, Gary.
Not Jared.
Mr. Modak.
5, 4,
Matt.
3, 2,
Brian,
1.
good night.
Nikki,
Aaron,
Allan.
good night. Prospecting. Good night.
Yeah.
good day, Nikki. That's right.
Oh,
They're in
yeah.
daytime.
Good day, Lars. Good day, love.
And Luke, if you're still in here, howdy. You back?
Nice try, Heavy Meadow. Nice try. Heavy Meadow changed his name to Heavy Metal. What
Heavy
the
metal.
heck?
It
Well,
was
you know.
been that way. It was that way last week.
Really?
Yeah.